Catarina João Morgado is the Academy Director at PwC for Portugal, Mozambique, Angola and Cape Verde. In this video, I'll be speaking with a seasoned professional with nearly 20 years of experience in training and development, and she is also an experienced mentor coach. We will explore key questions such as how should learning and development initiatives align with overall business goals? What does a typical coaching process looks like for a new client? And how is AI transforming the future of learning and development? Meet Catarina João Morgado. So, Catarina, thank you for accepting this invitation and for being part of the show. Thank you very much for that.
Well, thank you for having me, João. It's a pleasure.
So, as an introduction and just to make a summary before we start, so you are PwC or PricewaterhouseCoopers Academy Director for Portugal, Mozambique, Angola, and Cape Verde. You have about 20 years of experience in training and development field, from designing courses, evaluating courses, coordinating training plans, and delivering as a trainer as well. Besides that, you're also a coach, a leadership coach, correct?
Yes, that's it.
So we have many interesting topics to explore today. But I would like to start with PwC and your role as an academy director, because some people may not know that. What is the academy? What is the academy of PwC, which you've been connected for 17 years so far. 17 years, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So what is the PwC Academy, Catarina?
Okay, so thank you once again for having me. So PwC's Academy, it's a project that actually only PwC from the Big Four has such a project.
Oh.
We are a business unit dedicated to delivering training and learning solutions to our clients. So we were born from the internal L&D, which is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
When I joined PwC, I was part of the internal L&D. And we started to take a look at the opportunity to organize the trainings that our colleagues were already delivering, creating a brand, giving competencies, learning competencies to a team that can support all our trainers. And that was how PwC's Academy was born. More than 15 years ago. Yeah.
Interesting. So it was like an internal project for internal trainings, and then someone thought, hey, why don't we open this to external clients, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it started to grow. Fortunately, it started to grow a lot, and we decided to make it a separate unit. So we still have our internal L&D department, and we have the PwC's Academy staff focused on our clients.
Okay. So when you mention clients, any company could be a client of the PwC Academy, or there is a specific criteria?
Yes, we work mainly B2B. So our clients are different companies from all different sectors, from public to private companies. We work a lot with the financial sector, but all sectors can be our clients.
It's just a matter of looking at the catalog of trainings and see if you have the need of some of those and enroll yourself, right?
Yeah. We support our offer on the different learning, on the different knowledge fields of our PwC staff. So if we are delivering a digital transformation program, our tech staff, our auditors, my job is to go and chase them for them to design a course, for them to tell me what are the problems that the clients are facing, for us to design a learning intervention.
Then I'm curious to know, what are the most demanded courses out there in the market right now?
Well, right now, mainly the course is focused on digital, artificial intelligence. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
No one escapes.
It's obvious. and also regulations. When you have a compliance topic that, for example, these days it's the anti-bribery and corruption. There's a new obligation and we have lots of requests and support lots of clients on the
Yeah.
when there's those kind of requests. Yeah,
makes sense, right? When you are from one side working on consultancy and advisory, you know what the regulators will want to implement, and then you can easily create a course for all the market about that to answer questions in a different way for different clients as well. Makes total
that's it.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So today, I would like to have a more broader conversation with you, Catarina, because you've been working so many years in leadership and development, managing something called the Academy, a platform, but also I would like to discuss the challenges in leadership and development in general, right, with a specialist. Because being also in the human resources field, sometimes I feel that HR has an idea for leadership and development, the business has a different idea. There may be misalignments, especially when working in a big four or in the companies trying to align leadership and development goals with the business of the client. How should that be done? How should leadership and business goals be aligned?
Yeah, that's a great question that we are all trying to answer along these years. Well, talking about leadership is also one of the fields that we keep working a lot with, and also giving the digital focus. For example, to enable leaders to have a digital mindset or to know about ESG topics. We combine a lot the leadership matters and the soft skill practice with these technical aspects that are growing. And that's a way to try to align with the business. When you are developing a skill, always take a look at the different tendencies. And if a leader needs to be a good leader, needs to know about leadership, about delegation, motivating others, but also needs to be able to keep up with what's happening in the world. That's why we believe it's important to give them also these kind of skills. And it's very interesting that when we talk about these new trends, I always follow, I don't know if you know Donald Taylor's work. Every year he launches an L&D Sentiment survey. And he asks L&D people, I believe this year it was about 90 countries, people from 3,000 L&D professionals from 90 countries. And he always asks what are the main concerns. Obviously, artificial intelligence is number one. And last year it was like a boom. And this year, it's very interesting that one of the topics that gained relevance, besides artificial intelligence, it was talking the language of the business and be relevant. So our L&D people, the L&D community, is always worried, and it seems more worried this year with that topic, because it can have different explanations, but it's very difficult to keep up with everything that's going on, and that's a challenge for L&D people. We need to enable AI in our organization, for example, and to do that, we should know how to use it ourselves, right?
Right.
And besides that, once we start using AI, then it's supposed for us to have more time and to become more relevant. How to do that as well? So it's we are feeling the pressure like L&D professionals, but I think it's a cycle. We always feel that need to and that desire to be aligned with the business, and the business is always so fast that it gives us lots of challenges. So yes, it is very important to speak the business language, and you need to know your business very well, and also look for the big trends and what would be the big needs.
I would like to go a bit deeper here, because when you say you need to speak the business language, what exactly does that mean? And who are we talking about? Is it everyone needs to speak the business language? Is it just HR?
Well, and everyone should speak the business language, right?
Just to put more into the question. So I assume that the salespeople speak the business language, right? I assume that customer support knows how to speak the business language, product,
Mhm.
finance. So the only ones that I see left would be, does HR know how to speak the business language? Is that what you mean? Or is there something else that occupies the mind of the leadership and development people when they say this year we need to start speaking the business language?
I think it's a bigger challenge to keep up and to be relevant when all the business is also changing due
Yes.
to the adoption of the new technology. So it
Mhm.
gives an extra anxiety to the L&D professionals.
Because business changed so fast, everything changes so fast, and people tend to crystallize in their functions, right? And they should update themselves with the biggest trends in their business, in their sector, and know how to speak their language.
Yeah, yeah, that's another topic. Like thinking about the longevity and the look of the different jobs. So, what
Mhm.
would be the profile of an L&D person in the future? It has to be more techy, but probably all of us need to be more techy.
Probably
Yeah,
needs to be the most techy, the person, the most techy, the one that is already looking and see, oh, that trend is coming in, so let's bring it to our company, and then
yeah,
an ambassador to pass the message to everyone else somehow. But for example, in recruitment, if a recruiter doesn't keep himself updated on what's happening in their sector, in their market, probably when speaking with
mhm,
candidates from that sector, he won't look good, right? If he is not aware of the latest trends, the latest technologies, the latest skills required. And candidates, they are not dumb, right? They will understand if you really know what you're talking about,
yeah,
or if you're just vague conversation about whatever is happening, right? So yeah, it's indeed, makes sense that has been an issue forever, right? Forever, because time continues and there's always something new happening along the years. But right now, it seems the train is moving very fast, very fast. It's blockchain projects, it's AI, it's I don't even
yeah.
know. Uh,
Yeah, what I see the people doing from HR, and probably as you get in touch with lots of people from HR, you get this perspective. The strategy is to have people from the business, like to be our L&D champion and to be our voice
yeah,
in
that.
the sales
Hmm.
department. In
Hmm.
our
Hmm.
case, if talking about PwC, we have a champion in auditing, a champion in advisory, a champion in different
Okay.
areas, and HR and L&D professionals need to be flexible and to have some priorities aligned, but then have their eyes on the field, right? To be able to have good conversations. Yeah,
Sorry, you use the term champion. Is that a PwC term or a Big Four term, or could be applied anywhere?
at least PwC, at least PwC. Yeah,
'Cause it sounds good, right? You are the champion in this area. So when it comes to AI,
yeah.
Joaquin, you are the champion, right?
Exactly. For example, for AI, for digital, we had the digital accelerators. We didn't call it champions, so they were
Oh,
the digital accelerators. So
okay.
when we adopt new tools, we had the new tool ninjas.
That's also good. The ninja. Yeah. I want to be the ninja of something.
That was a good one. So it's like to empower people to know, well, you know the business, you know that learning is important. So can you be our ninja and help us
Hmm,
uh, serve the company better and serve
okay.
the
Full
company goal?
names. Full names. Okay. It's
Yeah,
not just
full name.
it's not just manager and senior manager and associate partners. Yeah, it's also ninjas and champions.
That's something that you learn not only with consulting firms. I think they do that very well, but even to create engagement in a learning program. If you create excitement around it,
Mhm.
we know that adults need excitement and need a purpose for them to learn, right? We are not
Right.
as children that you just sit there and you hear what the professor tells or the teacher tells you, and you learn. But for us adults, we need the motivation. So if you are able to create this kind of environment, it will help to
Okay.
address the learning
Another tip
goals.
for L&D people listening:
Yeah.
gamification and
Yeah.
fun.
Fun, yeah, to have a good communication plan.
Hmm.
Yeah, and well, sponsorship from the top, as we are.
Oh, since you brought the topic,
Yeah.
sponsorship from the top, Catarina, I guess everyone listening that have struggled with leadership and development initiatives also pass through the challenge of convincing someone to pay for that initiative, right? Could be managers, could be the finance
Mhm.
team, could be the owner of the company. And everyone has already listened to the question. Sounds good, but what's the return on that investment? What's the ROI? So how do you ensure that executives buy in for learning programs in general? Doesn't need to be specifically
Yeah,
PwC
it's
Academy or in general, right? How do you convince someone?
yeah. If you are asking me about a ROI methodology that it's bulletproof, I would say, sorry, João, there's something that the L&D professionals have been looking for.
There's no one. There's
Yeah,
nothing. Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. But it's
uh,
a topic that sometimes it's getting more popular. Then people forget it and it returns. Well, I'm not saying that it's not important to measure. I'm only
mhm,
saying that it's an old discussion how to measure the results for a training or a learning initiative in
mhm,
particular. It's very difficult
mhm.
to isolate. So
Okay.
what we usually do is that when we design a program from the start, we try to think about the impact that we want to have from the beginning, and then to try to have KPIs. If you can make a survey in the beginning that you can ask things and then track in the end to see the progress, or when you have people surveys that you make every year, you can isolate some, you can take some initiatives and then see the progress next year. So I would say that the projects where we better can measure the return or the results is when you can design it from scratch, thinking about the impact that you want to have in the end. Yeah, yeah.
So there's a
There's
way to measure the impact, right? You can measure the current situation somehow,
Mhm,
using some
mhm.
KPI, and
Yeah.
then after the training, you can measure the difference, the added value, and how that converts into sales or revenue or whatever.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
yeah.
but that sounds like a post training thing, right? Because someone already paid for the course, right? If you're, and I understand that. I understand
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
possible to measure after, but
Yeah, I
if
know
you're
what you
trying,
mean.
if you're trying to convince someone before the results being seen, right? Is there any trick that you would like to share that you go to a CFO and you say, okay, this training course costs 1,000 euros,
Mhm.
and the CFO would say, okay, so we spend those 1,000 euros, what will we get in terms of return? Is
Yeah.
that something that you could say without knowing numbers? Because they want numbers, right? They want numbers. They want to see the
Yeah.
ratio of
Y-
the added value of those 1,000, the investment. Yeah, these guys only think about money, right?
Yeah, it's very interesting because we learning when we are selling an L&D approach, our we are discussing with HR people normally,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
HR people, they know that learning is important. They speak the same language that we speak. But then the person who approves the training is not necessarily someone who speaks people language. It's normally someone that needs numbers, needs to understand the results that they will get with that investment. So what I would advise firstly is not to talk about costs, is to talk about value. The value of this or the investment is this, and then to think about the benefits that the organization will gather after that approach. So try to
Mhm.
think about 3 benefits that
Mhm.
the client will receive from working with you, and that's the hardest part. It's not only for developing that program, but it's to work with you in particular. What will they gain as a benefit? So try to be on your buyer's mind and to understand what the benefit will be, and then you can have a business case
Mhm.
and try to
Okay.
convince
Mhm.
the the decisions that that would be a good investment.
So
Yeah.
the trick is to keep the conversation at the qualitative level and don't to go down or up to the quantitative level, because then you lose. Try to keep it on a qualitative level, the added
Yeah.
value, what people will learn, not
No.
learn, etc. But never
Yeah.
go to numbers.
Yeah, when we have studies that we can support or we can go for our metrics, like, I don't know, 95% of the students had an increment in their learning of 30%, and they will feel more secure to work with the and to fulfill their the requirements of the function, for example. Or if there's a study that shows that the quality of the leadership, for example, is important for you to reduce your turnover. That's a
Mhm.
benefit that a client can take from having a leadership program. Now,
Mhm.
the trick is okay, a leadership program and not a PwC's Academy leadership program. Then you need to explain why they will get an extra benefit from working with you, right?
We need now to try that in selling those courses internally. And then when you mentioned that you like to build things from scratch. So when you build something from scratch for a specific need, how do you balance in-person, virtual, on-demand learning, all these things to maximize engagement and retention? Is there like a perfect formula, or depends on many variables?
It depends on many aspects. We always try to have at least an in-person component in every projects.
You mean the PwC Academy? That's what you mean in the
Yeah,
courses
yeah,
on
yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, we always recommend to have at least, especially if you are talking about soft skill courses. We totally believe in the in-person part of the training, but then you can combine with master classes, with the coaching online works pretty well, especially if you have already met the person in person. Um, but we see that as of today, it's a balance. I would say that the in-person and the online events and initiatives, they are 50-50, because you have clients that they say, no, I won't have in person anymore because I have people
Spread.
spread in different places. People don't want to go to the offices anymore. They would have to go to the office and to be together to have the training, and they don't always want it. So I always say that I think the right balance is to have a little bit of everything. I think that the perfect project, well, when you have the sessions that you want to have people interacting, discussing, solving case studies, networking, they have to be all together in the same room. But then if you want to spread an idea, to reinforce a knowledge or a topic, then you can have 1 hour of an online masterclass. People will pay attention, and it's very
Hmm.
it has proven results as well.
It works. Hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
it works. Yeah.
So when it's deploying content, could be remote
Yeah.
or online. When is what requires interaction between participants, that needs to be done preferably
Yeah.
in person, right? Because you also could, through Zoom, you could create virtual rooms for people to discuss things, but it doesn't work that well, right?
Yeah, that was what I was about to say. When there's no other chance, and for example, with our clients in Africa, we have been delivering a lot of programs online.
Right. Okay.
But you need to be very creative. Use the breakouts. Use some facilitation tools to have people there, and they need to have their cameras on. It's a nightmare because then you need to go and chase people. Please put your cameras on, and sometimes it doesn't work as well as we.
Because they are doing something else in another room.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the balance is the right solution, I believe, because if you take people into a classroom and you are just talking and they are just seated there without interacting, they will fall asleep as well, or they go on their devices.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I believe that we are all losing some capacity to focus because we have our mobiles. It's we go for a topic here, we have another interruption there, and so everything that you do with the learning, it needs to be interactive, in classroom, online, self-paced. If there's no interaction, people start doing anything else. So it's starting to be even more evident that people cannot sit just and be how do you say it, passive learner. It doesn't work. Yeah.
So it truly required skill for anyone delivering trainings, regardless of which method it is, to be charismatic and to be able to grab the attention of people, right? Storytelling.
Yeah.
Because if not, they will just slip
Yeah.
through another device, another window, another tab,
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
the camera and do something else. We've all seen that happening.
Yeah. Exactly.
So more in general then, Catarina, outside the PwC Academy. So if you're trying to implement leadership or development training in your company, how do you foster a culture of continuous learning within an organization in order to, for example, to constantly be learning how to speak the company's language, etc.? How do you do
Yeah.
that? How do you put that in motion?
Yeah, that's one of the trends that is highlighted in different reports and from different people. To be able to have a learning culture will really leverage everything that you do and leverage people's development and performance. It's very important that people know how to learn. Yeah, there's a competence, a skill that you can have, that is that you know how to learn. So teach people how they can learn, where they can go and find information, and have information available for your staff. That's should be one of the focus, that people uh, know that where they can go and look for information if they need information.
So are you talking about like internal databases of knowledge bases?
For
Okay.
example, knowledge bases, learning management systems where you have content.
Yes. Okay.
Then you can have access to different articles. It's important to have access to information for people to start to become proactive in that sense. When you have an organization where staff just sits there waiting for the L&D people to give them information, it's you don't want to be there. You want to have proactive staff that looks for information, but for that you need to have platforms or information to give to people, and also you need to have the buy-in from everyone that it is important to that people attend trainings, that people have time to study, that people can look for information, because we all know, and this is something that the time was already a problem when I started working in L&D, and is still a problem today. So we know that if people are so busy that they won't attend even if you find the better course, the top market course. If they are so busy to address their responsibilities and to meet the client deadlines, they will not learn and they will not pay attention.
No.
So you need to create conditions that people have time. You cannot be 120% busy all year. So you need to have conditions. So even in a consulting and auditing firm, I see that you have conditions and you have times of the year where you can implement the learning initiatives, and people can address them.
If they need to do it like after hours, they won't, right?
No. If you have the platforms and if you have interesting content that people can go and search for, they could do it even after the working hours. But for that, you need to have conditions created so that people can look for content. Yeah.
Can you share an example of how you've helped employees or a client to adapt to organizational change through learning programs?
The first that comes into my mind is like the one where we have the concept of accelerators, the digital accelerators, to implement a new tool or a new system. You know that people, when you need to change the systems, there's always some resistance to change. Yeah. So you really need to speak about the benefits that people will gather once they get used to the new system. And we always try to have a support system. For example, if it's a new tool that people need to start to use, gather a communication plan with a different support. For example, where people can ask questions, and then you have a place where they can go and look for the answers. You answer the questions and then you post them, and people will know where to look for it. In this project that I'm remembering about, we had like people online or in classrooms with time available to answer people's questions and to receive people and to help them with the new tools. We had prizes where if people use the tool in the first day, they will receive a prize. You need to come up with like a whole support system for people to start to use the new technology and to feel supported to use it. Yeah.
Why do you think there are resistance for training? Is there like a main drive that you've seen throughout these years?
As you are asking that, I'm thinking about different examples, different clients, and I see different worlds. We have clients that are asking us for smaller and smaller sessions because they say that people are too busy. They won't have more than 2 hours to learn in a day. So we need to shorten the training programs to be able to meet their agendas. You have other companies that if you launch an initiative, you have lots of people signing up to be there. So I think this is probably related with the learning culture. And if a company only values results, and if there's no learning or development KPIs embedded in those results, people will only look after fulfilling those results. And unless you see that training or that learning initiative is really important for you to be able to deliver an extra mile, then people will keep doing what they are doing because they already have success. They don't feel that like they need to learn, or that you will be giving something relevant to them.
Just between you and I, no one is listening. Do you agree that there is a percentage of people that resist to change because they fear that they will lose power or status and they sabotage?
Yeah, I think that's one part of the issue, because imagine that you are the top performer of your company using that specific tool, and
And you're
then
taking it out and
yeah.
bring another one and training everyone at
Yeah.
the same time. So I will lose my status, right? My status
Yes,
quo.
yes. Sure, sure. And you start to think, oh, will I be this good in the new tool? I will not be so fast as I'm used to be. There's lots of actually in the end is the fear to fail that it's
Here to fail.
yeah, that I
Yeah.
believe is around the difficult to try new things. Yeah.
That's poetic. The fear, behind it is the fear to fail.
Yeah.
All these young kids around me, they will just be better than I now because I've been working in this system for 30 years and now, yeah. So it's my fear to fail.
Yeah, and
Okay,
that's quite a struggle to the fear not to be able to keep up with everything that's going
keep
on.
up with the
It's
changes. Okay,
yeah, I think it's normal to that fear pop-ups in everyone's minds these
we're all
days.
human.
Yeah.
I guess these struggles also happen within leadership and development teams. And since you have a team and you mentor a team, is there any specific development that you implement within your leadership and development team?
Hmm. Well, with my team, we have an initiative that I think is very interesting to develop people and to continue learn new topics besides the different learning initiatives that the company provide us. Every month, one of us needs to prepare a topic and to present or to think about the dynamic and to deliver to the rest of the team. So we do this, we try to do this every month. And it has two purposes. One, to discuss an interesting topic. It can be, we had about negotiation skills, about happiness, uh, learning how adults learn. So learning theories. We have developed a couple, design thinking, for example. So when we are thinking about new ways of delivering training and testing new approaches, we every month someone say, okay, that's it's my turn. Next month I will talk about happiness or whatever, and I will make a try to create a dynamic and make it with you. And then we all attend, and then we discuss not even the topic, but also the process, the learning process around it. So it's a way of everyone in the team, from a trainee to myself, to be able to continue to practice and the presentation skills and to be able to test new dynamics. Then we test it, we see if it's interesting, and then we uh, deliver those new solutions.
Because those are the people that will also deliver training to clients.
Yes, yes. For example, in my team, yeah, we work with every business units of PwC, and within PwC's academy team, we have trainers that are experts in soft skills. People from my team who deliver those projects.
Okay.
That's why we need to keep up to be aware of new ways of delivering new ideas, and so we use it on ourselves then too.
Internally. Okay,
Yeah,
and you can keep an eye on their development level to see if they need to
yeah,
improve some skills when delivering to internal clients or external clients.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
otherwise, I don't think it would look good if you were like in the same delivering room with a client evaluating. Maybe
yeah,
they will.
yeah. We don't do that. Yeah,
You don't do that, right? You just won't
yeah,
be there
yeah.
because that person is a specialist delivering. It's not being evaluated by you, right? It
Yes,
it
yes, yeah.
would damage their image in front of the client.
We always gather a lot of feedback from the clients uh,
Sure.
after each course, and we talked with different people during the training courses, and yeah.
So you get the feedback from how people perceive the trainer as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
So I think there's a component here of coaching when you coach people in your team how to deliver trainings, how to behave, how to speak, etc. So coaching is something, as we said in the beginning, that is also part of your life outside PwC and the PwC Academy. So you practice leadership coach, right? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Is it leadership coach? Sorry, I never went through anything like that, so I'm not sure.
Well, there's lots of terminologies.
Oh, let's learn. Let's learn.
Career coach,
Career coach.
leadership coach, health coach, well-being coach. Well, today
Wow.
you can call everything
Mm-hmm.
coaching, but yeah, the coaching I believe in and the coaching I follow. Now it looked like I was talking about a religion.
A religion to follow.
But the coaches that are hearing us will understand me. Um, that I follow the ICF coaching model,
Which
which
is
is
International Coaching
International Coaching Federation.
Federation. Okay. Now it looks like a sport, not a religion.
Yeah, coach. Yeah, and coaching is different from having a coach, by the way. Well, the coaching is something non-directive. When you start your coaching training, uh, you learn a couple of not only a couple but several methodologies for you to be able to make the other people, make your client reflect on their potential and bringing the best out of your client. So the idea is not to have a mentor. It's different from mentoring. When you have a mentor, it's someone that you it's expected to have more experience than you and will give you advice. And
Mhm.
when you coach, you are not giving advice. You are, and sometimes this is very hard to do because people are expecting advice most of the cases. But what you do is to use questioning techniques. And different approaches and ask different questions to make your client reflect. Sometimes is to be able to put out loud what people sometimes only gather for themselves, and then when they put it out loud in the presence of other
Mhm.
person, it gains context. And then you can put into practice and start to think about an action plan.
I'm going to say something very stupid here. And excuse me in advance, Catarina, but how is coaching then different from, I have this problem in life. Let me speak with my wife. Let me speak with a friend and hear their perspective on the things that I'm struggling with. How is coaching different? I'm sorry again. It sounds very stupid, I know, but
No. It's a
maybe
good
other
question.
people are thinking exactly the same, right? What is different from speaking with a friend or a family member?
Yeah,
Because you have some methodology, right? That's what I
yeah,
hope.
yeah, sure. Yeah. First you need to believe in the process. I don't believe that people if that you can turn coaching something mandatory that people need to attend. No, you need to want to be there. That's the first
Okay.
step. Just not to forget to mention this,
Hmm.
because if you don't believe in coaching, and I have lots of discussion with friends that don't believe in coaching, I think don't do it if you don't believe that it's important or interesting for you. But what is different from having a discussion with your wife or with a family member or with a friend is that, and it's not even recommended for me, for example, to coach my sister or someone from my family. It's not recommended because you already have an opinion about the person. You would feel the need to give advice. You already have some assumptions about the person.
There's an emotional connection.
Yeah. So it's someone that doesn't know you, that doesn't have an emotional connection or a kind of connection. That's the
Okay.
way that the process can work. And then when I think one of the aspects that I think that are very interesting in coaching is that you don't have an agenda as a coach. The agenda is the client's agenda. So what you want to discuss, the goals need to be formulated by you, and I'm guiding the process to make you understand what your goals should be, but that's your choice. Okay. And then you can come up with an action plan, everything that has to be done by you, by the client, and not by the coach. So if you talk with someone in your house, you will get an opinion and feedback. When you go for a coach, you have someone that will guide your thoughts about the
Mhm.
topic, and will try to look at the future and put it into action. If you have other forms of therapy, usually you take a look at the past, you talk about what happened, and try to solve it or to make clearness about it in your head. When you talk with coaching, is you put your in perspective to the future. The idea is to open and to give you more perspective for the future. What resources do you have? What have you already done? What can you do different? Is always a perspective for the future.
In a similar way with the leadership and development initiatives, how do you measure the success of coaching engagements with clients?
There's some engagements where you have the goals like defined in the beginning, and you can have like an Excel spreadsheet with the goals. How do you feel about that goal in the moment? What you would like to achieve, and then it's easier to measure if the goal was attained when you have that cases. But the coaching process is always establishing in a way that even in every session you ask your client, what did you learn from yourself in this session, or was important for you, was this relevant for you? So it's part of the techniques and the methodology to keep things on track. So that's a way that if you feel that the client is not progressing, or you are going away from the goals, you ask every session, what's the goal? What do you want to attain in this session? How will you measure success? So you are always doing that in the coaching process.
Wow. Okay.
Did I convince you to have a coach?
Who knows? Who knows? We need to speak about that off the
Okay.
record then. But if not me, plenty of people listening. Hopefully that could find your contacts in the video description if they are interested. Although you mentioned that you are a non-biased person, right? That is going to advise a person. You end up spending time with that person, right? And I guess that the conversation will end up also getting into very personal topics that are affecting people.
Mhm.
So how do you then establish things like trust and psychological safety with your clients, right?
One of the things that I continue practicing, and I think it was one of the things that choosing coaching for myself was really good, because if you work with me, you would know that I'm a multitasker. I'm always doing lots of things at the same time, and it's bad. I don't recommend it. So those are bad habits. But when you are coaching, you need to shut down everything else, and even try to shut down whatever assumptions you are making in your head, and focusing only being present for your client. And
Mhm.
when you are present for your client, and you are really there, you start to gain confidence very fast. You start to developing empathy. In the beginning of each process, you also address that this is private. These conversations are only between you and me, and you start asking questions, and usually you start building trust with that presence, and creating a safe environment. That's how I do it. Mm.
Still it's hard for me to believe that regardless which topic the client is speaking to you, it must be very difficult for you to avoid imposing your personal bias on the topics, right?
Okay.
So how do you maintain that objectivity and avoid imposing personal biases? Right? It's still you, right, Catarina? You
Yeah.
don't have a different person that is the one that you activate for coaching. So
Yeah. You can you can still share your thoughts and your perspectives. Like if I start to sense that, for example, you are mentioning a topic and you are becoming, and I can tell by your body language that you are getting more stressed, more concerned, for example, and I'm seeing that, I will say that. I will address what what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling, and that's me, right? Those are my instincts. So, but I always ask permission to share that. From what I'm seeing, I'm sensing that I don't know if you notice, but when you started this topic, you are getting more concerned. Have you noticed it? What's happening? So I don't know how to explain better than this. It's a balance, and there's an analogy that when you are delivering coaching, you are dancing with the client. It's a balance between
it's a dance.
what
It's a dance.
what
Okay.
what you are addressing, and you should
Mhm.
note it.
Mhm.
And if you feel like, I don't know, if I'm discussing with you and I remember of a theory that I think it's important to share with you, or a model or something, I ask, do you want me to share this and that? I think that could be interesting. And then you share, but you always ask permission when it's time for you to share something, or to share your own thoughts.
So you ask permission, meaning that I am going to bring some personal judgment on whatever is happening here.
Yeah, and sometimes people can say, no, I don't want to see anything.
I
Let's
don't
just
care.
speak about it. Yeah, okay. So you try not to impose.
Yeah, because you are asking, do you want to hear this different thing that comes from a personal sphere? And then if the person says yes, then you share. Trying to get to the same question, but in a different perspective. So imagine that you have a client and you're discussing in a very objective way their concerns and their goals, etc. And it's a leader, and he says something like, I don't hire women for my company because I don't believe women perform as well as men, for example. Would you not bring your personal view on this, like saying, hey, that may be incorrect because we know women and men, it's the same? Or you just accept that and keep your personal bias away from something? I'm
the,
bringing a very dramatic example exactly
the
to
tricky one.
understand
Well,
if
thank you.
if you cross the line in
Yeah.
any way.
Mm.
Would you say, oh, do you want to hear my personal view on this, on women and men in performance in the workplace? Would you frame it the same way?
Well, I would try to, I will ask, okay, tell me more about it. I would like to know more, to understand from where did that came from.
Okay.
I think I would not share my opinion because I think my opinion would be obvious. First point, try to understand where does it come from. Second point, look for information. Try to find a study with numbers or something that could go against or for what he was saying. I don't know, but look for information
Okay.
to try to get to maintain an objective discussion, and would not go into that discussion, a personal discussion with the client.
So it's not you saying otherwise, it's the studies. That's what you're trying to do, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry for pushing you, because but I
Thank you.
really I think that probably
Thank
you
you.
face this every day, right? The clients that say whatever they want about anything, and some of the things you may not agree, right? Or a coach may not agree. So would the coach
Yep.
stop?
Of course, you have an answer or you have a solution in your head, and you feel like saying, uh, just do it or
Mhm.
put into action. Don't you see that? But that would be my answer. That would be advice. And that's not my role as a coach. So I really need to breathe and to find the person to come up with the way that the person thinks is better for herself. It's not my job as a coach to make that. Of course, if you see situations where you feel like the client needs help from another specialist, or if it's not being respectful, those are different things. But opinions and different perspectives, well,
Yeah.
you should not start that discussion.
Okay. Thank you for bringing more information about coaching and coaching practices. I'm now more enlightened on what happens at that level. Thank you for that. One thing that probably you are better positioned than myself to also bring to this conversation, it's about the future, about AI and how that affects coaching, who knows, but especially leadership and development and training, right? How do you see right now AI revolutionizing what is happening in terms of training and development? Is it real? Is it really affecting, or is it just rumors and word of mouth out there?
Well, there's what I see is that the providers and the more digital providers are the ones that are trying to lead the process. So you, as of today, you already have. Even last week, I saw a demo on a leadership development course that you would interact with AI with different scenarios, and then AI gives you the answer and reacts from your decisions, and all based in AI. It's an example. Or you can already have a coach that is totally AI, and you have to believe if they AI also has bias, right? Because it was built by humans. Okay.
Yes, the model itself could be
Yeah.
supported on biased sources, right?
Yeah. But talking about our reality, well, I'm thinking about the reality in Portugal. Last year, we created a L&D forum, and last year was the first one. We did it with in partnership with Yale University, and we are having the second one in this April, by the way. And I studied a lot about AI in L&D, how things were progressing. And last April, I asked the audience, who were mainly L&D and HR professionals, who was already using AI, or at least testing. And you didn't have a half of the room with the arms raised. So in Portugal, from what my knowledge is, we are at an early state, and we are focusing on getting the tools like Copilot or GPT or wherever, starting with that baseline. And I believe that we are using AI for organizing content, for example, thinking about case studies, or it's good to suggest dynamics for you to use in training, to write the learning objectives, for example. Those are the kind of activities that the L&D professionals are using right now, AI. So it's like a guide, a personal assistant that you have to for you to be faster.
Leveraging work faster.
Yeah, I believe that if you are able to integrate some AI in your learning management systems or learning experiences systems, how is it, how people like to call it these days, to create an experience where, I don't know, if you learn a module, if you are studying a module and the tools see that you are failing in the same questions, or even more interesting is that there are tools that measure your level of confidence on an answer, and then you fail that answer, and they can give you reports on this staff members. They were very confident that they were right, and the answers were wrong. So this kind of knowledge that if you could track your employees and see this kind of bias that they have in a topic. And AI could give you those kind of answers. Within the PwC's Academy network, for example, where I have discussions with my peers across the globe, what I see is that AI is helping to get things done faster, but it's not yet transforming the way we learn.
Not yet. Let's be realistic, Catarina. How distant are we from AI replace the L&D team? And by this, I mean is instead of having the team creating the content through the help of leveraging AI or not, instead of having that, I just have an AI and I say, give me a training about this new regulation that just came out, or teach me everything I need to know about this subject. How distant are we from that?
Usually these kinds of transformations take, 30 years to set up. Like when we started to use the internet most or other tools. Everything is saying that this one will be faster.
Yes.
And today you already can do that. If you go to ChatGPT or Copilot and ask for a topic, you can already learn from it, right? And
Right.
you can get answers. You can ask for reading suggestions. You can ask for the sources. But you still need the human component to curate the content, to make adjustments to your reality. But it's getting better every day. So I think it will be even more expressive in the next 5 years.
There's no go back, right? That's the way we are. So besides that, what trends in corporate learning do you think will have the biggest impact in the next 3 to 5 years?
The learning cultures. It's a topic that I think it will continue to be on top of mind, because you really need your people to have that learning instinct, that you need to have people who want to continue to learn and to develop. So that's one thing. The personalization that the AI and the new technologies can give you, it's also very important. Everyone is trying to make shorter content and more addressed to your needs. And that's something that it's hard to get without the right technology. And also to give more attention to developing people and who they are, how they feel about themselves, the well-being, the self-awareness, to train more the mindset of people instead of the technical part. So I believe that would be the future. If you believe in that model, that you can train any technical aspects to almost anyone, but what would make the difference is the way people face the challenges, the way they interact. So I believe that this will be continue to be the trend, to focus on having more, in the end of the day, more happy people on your organization, and they will deliver better and be very better technicians.
We are now living in times where anyone can learn anything. And even if it's too technological, the subject, there's also something that will help them to implement that solution, website, code. So I think about that plenty of time, which is you can do basically almost you can do whatever you want, right? You just have to have the drive, the motivation, the time, and although you are you have an academic background in one area, if you put the necessary effort in place, you can then start doing stuff that is part of another area that normally some years ago it will take some years in university to learn, etc. That's where we are heading, right? With AI and all this knowledge.
Yeah. What would make the difference? It's the way you use AI to be able to communicate with it, to extract what you need from it, like creating the perfect prompt. And and the mindset, not to lose the human side of things, the creativity.
Okay.
Because all of us can go there and look for answers, but then what you do with it or what I do with it can be very different depending on the level of creativity that you would apply, or your personal touch or your experience. So I believe that humans will continue to be relevant due to that, due to the personalization that we can give to what AI gave us.
Is AI able now to analyze employee learning patterns and improve the training? Somehow you mentioned data in AI to see if the person is confident or not, but is it already applied in a way that it changes the training according to how the person responds?
Yes, that would be the great improvement in some solutions, and they will learn from your answers and jump into different content, adapt, analyze where you need to give more attention, come up with action plans with recommended studies. Yes, that's what it's promising us to to do.
Do you need AI to do that? You cannot do that right now. So if the person answers A, B, or C, it just branches differently the training. What is AI doing differently?
Yeah, I think it's more limited, the branches. There's a limit over what you can do.
Okay.
And with AI, it can be really more broad. And it can analyze very different variables at the same time.
Yes.
It's the next level from that scenario.
Could go outside the previously defined context of the training and provide other sources and other things to complement the training.
Yeah. If you think more broadly, why not, right?
That's really scary in a way
Yeah.
that you don't know if there's no stop or no limitation for the AI. It could go get or fetch whatever source it thinks it's good for the person, right? So that's a challenge for the leadership and development people to come up with these kind of models that don't go crazy.
Yeah.
This also raises ethical concerns, right? When implementing AI to track employee learning progress. Do you face those ethical concerns already, or it's just in the future?
Yeah, I think that the main concerns right now regards with the confidentiality, where does the data go into, and what is it doing with our data or data from our clients. We are very, very restrict with using data from clients with AI tools. That's one of the aspects. Well, the ethical dilemmas of, I don't even like when you implement an LMS from the first time, a learning management system. People need to be informed on what kind of information the HR will have access to. With information, people can either authorize or not. I don't believe that you can, with our GDPR constraints and all the regulations that we have in EU, they have barriers of what you can do. So if people don't give you consent, you will not be able to go wild in using the data from people. So I think that we are, for the better and for the worse, we have lots of regulations and the AI Act that just came up. Even to use AI, you should deliver AI literacy programs to your people, exactly to set up the boundaries and what you can do or you shouldn't do.
Okay. Putting a little bit AI on the side, or maybe not, if you have unlimited resources, what innovative leadership and development initiative would you implement? And could include AI, right?
I think it would need to include AI.
Nowadays, it needs to be, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What would it be?
I think that some kind of tool that can give you a support system where leaders could go and discuss topics or go and get help I believe that leadership can be a very isolated place if people are still in that stage that they should not show weaknesses. If they feel that they should know it all. And if we could have a place like a community where people could address their issues, gather insight, I don't know, to train the different companies competencies to discuss about it. I don't know. I believe that I would like to have such a tool where you can go and find people and discuss and feel safe, like a safe environment.
Would that be people discussing with each other or with AI?
With each other and with AI as well.
Okay. So you need to create a WhatsApp group for that, or a Telegram group, and you would be the admin.
But what's bad about WhatsApp is that you need to you see all the messages and it gets really annoying. What if you could track and see only what matters to you? Would that be possible in the future?
Okay.
Imagine that you could, give me just what is relevant to me and it would know me.
Then AI would choose what is relevant for you.
Yeah, it's scary again, right?
You tell AI, hey, from all these conversations, just give me what they are talking. When just give me the ones that they are talking about. I don't know, auditing or something, HR.
Yeah,
and it filters.
I don't know. Yeah, but now that I'm thinking with a little bit more time on this, I think that if we progress as organizations or as countries, I believe that if all leaders and all staff could have access to a support system, like if I feel that I need help and I need to talk with someone, I could go there and look for someone that could help me. I think that would be the big program that I will be implementing, because we know that we have and what I've learned from my coaching projects is that everyone needs help at some point, or everyone is struggling with some dilemma or with a ghost sometime in their lives. And if you could have some kind of platform or support, or your organization could sponsor that, if you need a specialist or if you need to talk to someone, you could go and have that conversation, I think that would be awesome.
Cool. We are close to the end, Catarina, today. Session today. Time flies. Thank you for everything you've shared about leadership and development, AI, coaching. The last thing that I normally ask for people in this show is if they can recommend someone that could be the next very interesting guest for the show. Would you recommend me?
Ines Alterman from IE University, and she's very international. I think it's an interesting person for you to speak to. Frederico Contreras from Fidelidade, Carolina Weil from my team. She has a very interesting life story, from finance to kitchen, and then to human resources consultant.
Challenge accepted. Thank you for the 3 months, Catarina. And I hope that whatever happens in the next years with AI, and I definitely think you'll be up to the challenge to continue not only knowing what's happening, but also implementing at PwC Academy and through your internal and external clients. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you so much, João. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.